Why is Saquon Barkley an Eagle, Albert?
Um, it's a good question. I think
Thank
it's
you.
because the Giants had sort of moved on. And the Giants were kind of moving into this next phase of what they're building behind Joe Shane and Brian Dable. And I think the other piece of it is, the Eagles, I, for as much has been said about them not investing in running backs and looking the other way, like, do you know, like, of the three biggest running back deals in free agency over the last 10 years, the Eagles are responsible for two of them now. DeMarco Murray in 15 and now Saquon Barkley in 24. And you can say, well, Howie wasn't really behind the Murray deal, but the Murray deal only replaced another massive running back contract in Shady McCoy's. So, I think it's a good example of how the Eagles stay loose with those rules, and how they're flexible. And, how in this case, like, the running back market had come down to the point where it's a bargain, like, it's actually a good deal they're getting here. This is $12 million a year. I mean, Hunter Renfrow makes $15 million a year. I mean, no offense to Hunter Renfrow, but, like, who would you rather have in your offense, Saquon Barkley or Hunter Renfrow?
Hell yeah. Right, of
It's
course.
just gotten to the point where these deals for running backs actually wind up looking pretty good. Now you got to take on the extra year, right? Like, of risk, and that, that he's going to fall off a cliff, and he's at that age going into year 7 where it could happen. But I think this is an opportunity to add a guy who is going to impact you in the passing game, who, could look pretty scary as a running back standing next to Jalen Hurts and everything that Jalen Hurts brings to the table. To just add another element to an offense that's already throwing AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert at people. And so I think it's just sort of an example of the Eagles, not staying hard and fast to some of the rules that they've had in their building over the years, and seeing an opportunity here to get a player that could wind up a couple years down the line looking like a relative bargain.
And plus, we just, again, the 49ers add Christian McCaffrey to a team that seems to be set
Yeah.
everywhere else, and it turbocharges their opportunity to win a Super Bowl. And the Eagles might be doing that with Saquon Barkley. And I started the show this way today, Albert, that the Giants, coming off a playoff season with their quarterback and their running back looking together like they did against Minnesota and one and dunning the Vikings that year, you re-sign the quarterback and you franchise the running back and you try and go to work and it falls to crap. And now you hit the offensive and defensive lines. You go back to the line of scrimmage. You start building from the inside out, which is what the Giants did yesterday. I got to tell you, it looks like a team resetting for a new quarterback. That's what it looks like to me. Is that what the Giants' plan is? In your estimation,
That could be another landing spot for our guy JJ there too.
You think
right?
so? You think that's one, but Fields? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it seems to me like they're ready. That's what a team that does what's on the screen right here. And again, I proffer to say maybe the Jets aren't the best example. The Jets sent Jamal Adams away. You know what I mean? They sent their safety away. They got some draft choices for him. That's not what the Giants lost their safety rather than paying him yesterday. But they're like, we're not paying a running back despite how he's the face of the franchise, and we're not paying a safety. We're going to pay Brian Burns. We're going to pay 2 offensive linemen. We're going to get another running back in Devin Singletary, who's more than serviceable, and go to work. But that also means we're going to start. This is not for the quarterback they currently have. That's normally what it looks like. What are you hearing about the Giants playing at quarterback, Albert?
I mean, this is very Buffalo-ish what they're doing, right? Like, that if you look at the way the Bills were built, and obviously that's where Shane and Dayball came from. There's massive investment in the premium position. So they paid Josh Allen, of course. They also paid Deion Dawkins at left tackle, Steph Diggs at receiver. They've spent high draft capital
but
on
they
Ed
had Josh
Oliver.
Allen, brother. I mean, Josh Allen's
I
not
mentioned
walking
Josh
through
Allen.
the door.
I mentioned Josh Allen, but they're investing in premium positions, and like, you look at, like, the lines of scrimmage now and what they've got there between Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, and Brian Burns on defense, and then on offense, Andrew Thomas at left tackle. They spent a top 10 pick on Evan Neal. Like, they've invested in the lines of scrimmage, and that's the foundation here, and it puts them in position to go and support a young quarterback, no question about it. And they are, I can say this, one of the teams that has inquired with teams in the top 3 about a move up. Doesn't mean it's going to happen,
Right.
but they've inquired with teams about doing that. And so I think they're looking at all of their options at quarterback now. And I think that if the right opportunity comes along, they are in position to take the young quarterback now. And Daniel Jones's contract sort of sets up this way, right? Like, where I mean, everybody went crazy, and 4 years, 160 million. Really, what it was a 2-year, $80 million deal, and it allows them to bail from the contract after 2025, which they knew they weren't drafting one last year, and so like now this year puts them in a position where they could draft one and have Daniel Jones there as the placeholder and say, okay, like if the kid comes along fast enough, then great, we'll throw him out there, but we want to have the flexibility to redshirt him. And, Jones has been around now. This is going to be his third year in Dayball's offense. He can go out there and be your placeholder pretty effectively while the young quarterback gets ready to go. So I would agree with you 100%. Not only are they a team to watch when it comes to the quarterbacks in the draft, they've actually investigated moving up and seeing what it might take to get up into that top 3.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.